In session 2, we are going to learn about references and medical checks. At the end of this session, we should be able to state at least 2 reasons for references as employee selection devices. Describe the 2 types of references. Explain medical checks as a selection device. We are looking at references as a selection device. Referees are nominated by candidates mostly on their curriculum vitae or CV. When applying for a job, everybody submits a curriculum vitae. So on the curriculum vitae, you are going to nominate people people who should be contacted to provide information on your past life, your character, your experiences, how you handle situations, and skills to put you a higher notch above other applicants. So your referees are going to give you a higher notch, sell you to the employee that you seek to be employed with, to work with. Okay, so references from referees may come in the following ways. Unsolicited testimonials. These ones are submitted by the candidate, where the candidate will write nice things about himself and say maybe the headmaster, the CEO, the managing director of so and so firm, I am so and so, and I'm saying that this applicant is very good. He has honesty, integrity. He can work with you very well. He's time conscious. So unsolicited testimonials are mostly not recommended for. Most employers do not fall onto these references. Also, we have letters. Your referees can write letters for you to send to the organization, or based on the contact information that's provided for them, they can be contacted to write what a letter for you, and which will put you a higher notch against other applicants. We have structured reference forms. Most organizations have structured reference forms where they just put in your name, some necessary information that they think other employers would need. So they'll write this for you as per the structure, then you submit it as an attachment to your application, maybe as and when needed, or the company can fall onto them for such reference forms. Then we have telephone referees. Here, you place a call at your convenience, then you ask them to provide information for you for an applicant who has come to be employed into your firm. Then we have written reasons for dismissal. This one happens when the organization decides. This one happens when the organization decides that they want to lay off an employee. When such decision is made, the organization can provide a letter providing the reasons why they dismissed you or why they can't work with you again. Sometimes it's because they are laying off staff. Sometimes it's because they've replaced you with probably a technology. Yes. So they have to give you a reason for dismissing you, whether positive or negative, so that you can move on ahead and submit it if you want to apply for further jobs. Now we are looking at medical checks as a selection device. So medical checks are provided by a qualified medical practitioner to assess the physical and mental state of an applicant. So to be able to be employed at a point, even in our universities, you are asked to go through a medical checkup before you're employed as a student. So in the organization too, they ask you to go for medical checkup by a practitioner. Most organizations or some organizations have their own hospitals where they can conduct the test for you, the necessary tests as per the job requirements, or you'd have to go to a medical practitioner, get a test done, and bring the report to them so that they can assess your physical and mental states as an applicant. So the reasons for medical checks include safeguarding the health of those engaged on hazardous work. So if you are someone working with acid, chemicals, we need to assess whether your lungs are effective, are working well, your kidney, so that as you are on the job, continuously, regularly, they conduct a check for you so that you don't get any disease that could be hazardous to your personal health. So based on the job requirement or the job description, it is necessary for you to have the medical check to safeguard the health and safety of vulnerable groups. Assuming the period of COVID, there are elderly people in the workplace, people with lung issues, and you are going to work with them. the test for COVID would be necessary because you're going to work with people who are vulnerable and have the chance of getting COVID as compared to people who probably have vaccinated, have healthy lungs and kidneys. So when you're working with people with vulnerable groups, you need to conduct a medical check to safeguard the health and safety of others. So, assuming you are an employee, then you have any transmittable disease. Here, we have to make sure that you go through a test so that we can detect if you have any transmittable disease so that you don't infect other workers that's what you are working with. This is not the same as the vulnerable groups. The vulnerable groups, they have the chance of getting a particular disease. So we need to test whether you don't have that disease. But for the others, you need to make sure that you don't have any transmittable disease that you can send to them. And the last but one reason for medical check is to ensure that is because of some specific job requirements. So to meet some job requirements, you need to undergo a medical check. And lastly, to meet requirements of occupational schemes. So lastly, we need to assess your before you can be qualified for some pension schemes, you need to provide medical checks. At the end of this session, I believe we have learned that referee provide information on applicants. So when you are nominating referees, make sure that your referee is someone who has time, can at any time, if a phone call, would pick up a phone call, has time to respond to his emails so that when he's contacted, he can write the recommendation letters for you if necessary. So you shouldn't just say, you know someone, you know the VC of UCC, so you are going to apply for a job, then you put VC's name there, mostly without telling VC. VC is not going to, maybe not answer unknown numbers. He may not even access his email himself. So some of these things would be pending. So you have to look at all these when you are nominating your referees. We have also identified the types of referees. We've also learned that medical checks are important for employee selection to protect the employee and the workers in the organization. Thank you. See you in our next session.